Alrighty, guys. Pretty exciting. I know announcement was essentially 4 or 5 days ago, but obviously us here in Australia, we're pretty delayed. This just got released today. You have to do an update on your ChatGPT mobile app, essentially to update to the latest version. If you haven't already, I highly recommend it. I've been playing with this today. But essentially, I want to dive into the latest upgrade for the conversational application. There's other updates that have happened within ChatGPT too, but this is on the paid version. So if you don't have the paid version, then I recommend you get it because it's so much value. Anyway, I'm going to have a live conversation now with the latest conversational update.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Listo para aprender
I
español?
was testing with Spanish
Vamos a
before.
ello.
Can you please speak to me in an Australian accent and just explain the latest release of ChatGPT voice conversational upgrade?
Absolutely. So, the latest release of ChatGPT's voice conversational upgrade is a real game changer. It's all about making the interactions more natural and engaging with a smooth, human like voice. The upgrade focuses on enhancing the clarity, tone, and responsiveness, making it feel like you're chatting with a mate. It's designed to understand context better, so the flow of conversation is more seamless. Pretty impressive stuff, eh?
So for you guys, when I'm driving, just so you're aware, I use this when I'm driving. I have conversations. I do brainstorming ideas, content creation. Think about what the different scenarios I want to talk about when I'm doing a speaking gig. So there's so many different aspects you can use it for this conversation. Now, can you please just tell me a funny joke in an Irish accent?
Sure thing. Here's one for you. Why do Irish fishermen make great musicians? Because they always know how to catch a good bass.
Sure, wasn't really funny. Can you make it really, really funny, but do it in an American accent now?
All right, here we go. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
Sure. Now, can you please tell me a horror story in less than 1 minute using a really ochre Australian accent?
Righto, here we go. There was a bloke out bush camping near an old mine shaft. One night, he heard whispers coming from the shaft, eerie like. Curiosity got the better of him, so he went to have a squeeze. As he peered over the edge, a cold hand grabbed his shoulder and a voice said, "You're next."
Let's pause that for a second. And so, what I typically do, let's just give an example of how interactive and natural the conversation can now be. This wasn't like that before. There's a lot of stopping and starting when it came to interacting with ChatGPT. Essentially, I was learning Spanish before. That's why it started with Spanish. But essentially, any language, any scenario, and it's got the complete worldwide information at its fingertips. So yeah, please 100% grab on that and start utilizing it. I want to dive into some things I typically dive into when I'm using ChatGPT, but essentially, it's really good. Like I was saying before, when I'm driving, to go really deep in a conversation, go really deep in that particular topic, and we call it a layering effect. Essentially, when you start a thread in ChatGPT, I've got a million different threads. But essentially, when you start a thread, you want to be able to pick a theme on that thread, and then you want to go deep on that thread. So that layering approach, and that's where you really get the most use out of using a system or an AI system such as ChatGPT. I'm using ChatGPT as an example here, but essentially in Gemini or in, any other platforms, you can also do that, right? So let's talk about a passion of mine is running. So let's dive deep into that. Alrighty, Chatty G, can you please dive into the world of health and fitness? I'm a vivid runner. Actually, let's start again. Let's go beginner. I'm beginning to run. What should I start with, and how should I get into running?
Great to hear you're keen to start running. Here are some tips to get you going. First, invest in a good pair of running shoes that suit your foot type. Start with a dynamic warm up to prepare your muscles.
Do you
Begin
recommend
with
any
short
running
distances,
shoes?
maybe a kilometer or so, and
So that's meant to be interruptive, but it's not quite there yet. But it will come. I was testing earlier; it was interrupting, but sometimes it's still not interrupting. In the world of running, what are the best running shoes to get?
choosing a best running shoe. Choosing the best running shoes can depend on your foot type, running style, and where you'll be running. For a neutral runner, shoes like the Nike Air Zoom Pegasus or Brooks Ghost are popular. For overpronators who need more support.
And so the reason I talk about doing a layering approach is because once you've started that topic, you use that thread to keep diving into that topic. What you want to really try to avoid is having real random conversations in that one thread. And because then it's like it's very generic. There's no deep and meaningful conversations around that, right? So I've posted a few things in the post around brainstorming ideation, personal assistant, so you can use it to like essentially remember stuff. So if you don't want to remember things, you got a thread. Essentially, you can go to that thread and just have a conversation about what you should be doing. You can pull up that information later down the track and go, great, what are the items I still haven't actioned yet? And you can use it like your personal assistant and literally like having a conversation. It's really cool. Content creation, business consulting. So I've been using the latest O1 model, which is an advanced model for mathematics, for maths and science and really deep in expertise, but essentially business coach and business consulting. And you can get really deep and meaningful from that perspective. And I think that's super useful. The education and research piece, I do a lot of conversations with ChatGPT, especially when I'm driving around, learning a particular topic that I don't really know too much about. So if I hear something on social media or there's a topic that pops up, it's like, okay, I actually really want to know about that topic. So I go deep into that topic to really just learn. Coding and development, I'm not a coder, but essentially our devs use it for coding and development. Automation opportunities in the business, health and fitness, like I just quickly mentioned, entertainment. So if you really want to find out what's coming out or what the best recommendation is, you can definitely do that. And a really, really cool one is around the business strategy. So I've been using it a fair bit lately to go, well, this is our 5-year plan. Can you break down the 5-year plan for me? What should be targeted in this quarter? What type of activities are going to help us get there? So you can really go deep in that, especially you can upload photos and upload spreadsheets and PDF documents. But this latest version is really interactive. There's still a few bugs I've noticed, but it's very much an interactive conversation now. You can change, you just saw on the fly, change to different languages, change to different accents. It's got emotiveness now. So it's, pretty damn cool. All right, that's the launch and the quick update for today.